Inzoi is a game going to be released into early access very soon, and you know I'm super hyped about this game. But apart from what's very obvious, because we all do know The Sims 4, and The Sims 4 had a lot of update packs, or DLC packs I should say, and by a lot I do mean a lot. So many that I don't even know what exactly is in or not. In this video though, I want to talk about features I would love to see in Inzoi, which I think would really be groundbreaking for me personally in the sim genre. Everything else, you know, that we do know from all the years of Sims is obviously something I would love to see, but a lot of these things are already integrated into the game. So let's look at things that are not yet in the game and are also not, at least not mentioned, to be planned in the near future. Let's get going with the first one being sports. Yeah, well, that might sound stupid to you because, you know, like sports is in the game, obviously, or you could do a lot of sports with The Sims. Yeah, but could you do that yourself? Not really, though. We do have the first person kind of control already in the game, so we can actually walk around if we want to. And I would love to see minigame kind of character, how you can really play yourself, how you can play volleyball, basketball, even go surfing, do some football playing and so on. Always have the option to do it exactly like you have it on screen, where you can control your wonderful Zoe to do whatever you want them to do and then get playing some football or so. But I really would love to see this as a feature in the game where you can have your own skills also trained and become a better football player or become a better basketball player or become a better surfer, and then you can enjoy surfing or even scooting around on inline skates or so. I would really love to see that actually being a thing. I know it might not be as a huge of a, you know, killer feature, as some would say, but I really would find this refreshing. And it's very hard to find a killer feature nevertheless, because Sims almost already had everything you can imagine, and somehow we would then need to talk about how it's realized. But I really would love to see and have the ability to do it myself, to play it myself with a controller, with mouse and keyboard, however you like this, and then just have the option to play these soccer or football or whatever things, sports yourself, or do some weightlifting and you have to do some mini skill, you know, somehow almost like in GTA San Andreas, maybe a bit more, I don't know, but that would be lovely. Next up is tuning, and yes, this may be the most male stereotype thing ever done in my videos, but hey, I mean, I love the system they already have in game with the furniture and stuff like that. You can see it on screen right now, how you can basically combine all the typical kind of furniture elements and then create your own furniture, and that's a system I really love. So why not have that for your vehicles that you apparently can use yourself in this free city as well? I would love to see that. I would love to be able to shop my own pieces, maybe even use the 3D printing mechanic that the game offers with AI to print myself some cool tuning parts and put them onto my car or my scooter, and then just do some 90s vibes, you know. And if not for the Asian area, where would you go for the tuning scene at the moment? This is where it's coming from. This is the Koreans having a lot of fun with it, you know. The whole Asian culture is very much built around theming, tuning and so on. And I just recently saw a Korean car manufacturer, Hyundai, and basically we own a Hyundai, but we do own the family car Ioniq 5, while they are doing the performance Ioniq 5N right now, and they're doing some really fancy tuning stuff with this thing at the moment. It's kind of a beast, and that one being done with a, you know, a tuning scene and so on is so cool, and it's freaking awesome. And that's just kind of how you would do it. And also electric vehicles would be lovely in this game too. So yeah, just apparently something I would love to see in the game, because I'm a fan of it, because I feel like it's unseen and it would offer a completely new approach to how you can access, you know, your vehicles used in a sim game. Like apparently it's not maybe that much that you need to have for your sim evolvement or like sim kind of life, I guess, but just in general, I really love that idea. Next up is something I can't really take credit for myself, because that's a huge wish inside of the Inzoi community as I'm reading on the Discord channels, and this is proper education and proper dealing with toddlers. If you've seen my Let's Play, you know that this little toddler basically ran my whole family business. He was the only one doing all the good stuff. But I would love to be able to get into schools and having the chance to basically take part in the education and then have a proper effect on the growth and the development of your Zoi. So what I love is that this game offers the chance now with the full AI system to have individual characters that grow over time. So even better would be obviously a completely crazy system of education things where you can do your same, you know, almost like in Hogwarts Legacy or in other, you know, Harry Potter games or other like these almost RPG games where you level up your character by going to classes. And I think that would be properly done in here as well, if you could play that again in a typical, you know, sim game manner. I tend to say Sims, but this is obviously Inzoi. So I really would love to see that and have a toddler and, you know, then also make like a teen being in a state of mind that can change obviously over time and that can develop, and having the chance to basically steer the development of your kids as well as, you know, to which school they are going. Not that they're going to school themselves, but like imagine if they're having done a good elementary school education, then they can go to a high school or not. And like in Germany, obviously that's kind of a thing. I'm not sure how it is in every country in this world, but I do like the idea of having the chance to pave the way of your child that you can actually, you know, get in the first place in the game, and then basically make sure that they come off as a character later on that has been shaped by your decisions. And really would love to see this being tackled in a completely new and fresh way to make room for a totally new experience of having kids in this game, and maybe getting away from a stupid kind of like, I'm saying stupid, I know it's fun, but like a 100 baby challenge and then all the babies like grow up and do the same. But like with having individual characters playing a whole life would be so freaking fun. I really would love to see that. Honestly, one thing that I've not really thought about that much until I was building this house in here myself is real estate management. Now, in this game, you can build basically also multiple story buildings and put multiple flats in here. It was a bit of a tricky thing, but I, you know, felt there was a lot of things doable, and I really would love to be able to create living space and then have other Zois join your very own property that you rent to them, and then you also have to deal with people not paying the rent, or you know, all the typical shenanigans going on, or the other way around. You as a person who is going to rent a flat, you also obviously have to pay your bills, but knowing, for example, the person who's owning that real estate, you know, I'm not saying what could happen, but as we all know, crime and so on in this game is a factor now, as they've confirmed. I really would love to see the whole mechanic about real estate management, being able also maybe to own all the houses in the city at some point and being the big boss of the city by just owning all the stuff, and you don't need to go to work, and you basically make your money off of having many flats that you've built, you know, and also properly building real estate. And not only that, not only flats, but also building shops and coffees and stuff. I know that in this game it is kind of possible, like already in Bliss Bay and so on, we had the chance to go into the different locations, as they're called, like for example the library, and later on you should be able to change these locations where you can then also change the library and the mall and whatnot. I would really love to be able to also open a cafe and just build your own cafe, for example, and put furniture in, so you own that one and you're not going to work, but you're actually owning that one and you have to employ people, and you could then potentially also employ your very own characters you're also playing on the map, and the whole real estate management would become one. Again, I'm not necessarily sure if Sims can do that in some way, so please take all my ideas with a grain of salt. If I'm saying something new, maybe that is in one way or the other already in Sims. I haven't played it in ages, and I don't own all of the updates, and I honestly don't have the time to just kind of try to get it back into it. So maybe it's in, I don't think it is in that way. I just quickly did a research, maybe I was too stupid to find it. But anyways, there's one more thing I want to talk about, so let's get going into my last idea. And that is going to be free building. Completely free, limitless building. Now, what do I mean by that? I do think that this game will potentially get the closest we can imagine. What you'll see on screen is me building a Star Destroyer in this game. I know I'm taking this example for way too many cases now, but honestly, building it had me thinking about so many things and also finding out so many things in this game, what were possible, what was possible, and what not. So I know that Sims by now has a pretty cool roof mechanism, and you can also do some fancy, cool round stuff if you do the tricks and so on, but I really would love to see a limitless thing. I do know having a grid is necessary, specifically for people who want to build gridded houses and so on, and I know that architecture varies over where you're from, what you're used to, and so on and so forth, but as much as I love the building editor in this game because it was super powerful, it also had its flaws, and one of the biggest flaws was not being able to build anything like properly round or a different angle than 45 degrees, which just really annoyed me over time, trying to get some interesting shapes in and building some really cool modern houses and so on. And you know, being in an engine like Unreal and having all these freedom things in, like, virtually every furniture piece can be rotated in 360 degrees free. You also have a key that basically overrides the collision and you can put it everywhere, you know, except with some of the roofs here. But anyways, let's not talk too much about this. I genuinely don't know why you wouldn't do that, but this would be my dream, my absolute dream come true. This is why it's the last point. For me personally, as I'm more of a builder person, I do love the idea of having a bit more chances to play some funny kind of playthroughs with being a real estate manager and so on. Could really find that funny. Even just become an investor or so. But like my stronghold, and that's what I'm living for, is building and doing some fancy stuff with the building tools. And I'm coming from the Planet games. I want complete freedom. I don't want the restrictions of any angle. I just want to have it. And if the house isn't working properly, then I take it, okay? Give me a rule that I need to put some things in a safe zone, otherwise they're not working. Fine, I'll deal with that, but let me build whatever I want. Let me build roundish towers, let me build completely weird angled walls, let me build weirdly angled roofs, let me build a house that looks like this kind of fancy a building in Abu Dhabi that goes over the racetrack, which looks like a weird organic kind of shape with having some stuff on front of it. I just want to be able to have the chance to do whatever I want with such a powerful game, with such a great graphics, with such a powerful engine. We must be able to do that, and this is my absolute top feature. And this is also what holds me back from building more in The Sims, honestly, as they do have a lot of powerful tools, and I know a lot of mods do change a lot, and you can virtually do anything if you just take the time and do it. But like, it's 2025, and I don't want to trick the system anymore. I want the same kind of freedom as I have, for example, in Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo, or, you know, other games that have a completely free building tool, and I just want that. So with that, let's get into a little conclusion. As I said, I am mega hyped for this game, and I definitely think that this game, as it is already, with all the ideas and all the things already announced, there's a lot of cool stuff that they announced this game will feature, such as being able to become a fashion designer and make money out of it, and being able to just, you know, control the careers in a better way, and having also a whole bunch of city management things, as you can see in front of you right now, and all the AI stuff, being able to bring in AI textures, AI furniture, and so on, is already mega strong. But with those ideas I showed you today, this game would become even more than already a properly great alternative. This could become a significant competitor in the sim genre, which has been held by a monopolist, I should say, for way too long, and it's about time to get the City Skylines or Planet Coaster moment in time, if you will, where, you know, a new series emerges off of the, I wouldn't necessarily say weakness of the old one, but maybe the, yeah, let's say avoidance of a major step in the right direction because of making money off of what's existing. And I think this is a pattern that repeats way too often, and having a studio like Krafton being behind this game now, I see a very good chance of, well, in a year's time or 2 years' time, having some of these features. Do we have tuning by then? Potentially not. But like, I just like to fantasize a little bit what this game could be capable of with all its mechanisms already in the game. And now it's your turn. What would be the one killer feature, let's call it that way, that would make you play this game over any other sim game out there, and what would really draw you into the game? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll keep you posted about all the updates and everything interesting around this game, and I can't wait to play it myself again. Have a good time. Thank you so much for watching as always, and goodbye.